Types of transformations. What are transformations? A transformation is a change in position, size and shape of an object. The main types of transformations are reflection, rotation, translation, enlargement. Let's look at each of these in detail. Reflection. A reflection happens when every point of a shape is the same distance from a mirror line. In the example here, the mirror line is the y-axis, and the distance from the left shape to the y-axis is similar to the distance from the right shape to the y-axis, namely 1 unit. Points that are on the mirror line are also their own images, a property called being invariant. Reflection preserves lengths and angles, but reverses direction. The object and its image are then called oppositely congruent. Rotation. A rotation happens when a shape is moved about a given point and through a certain angle. Anti-clockwise rotations are positive, while clockwise rotations are negative. In the example alongside, the shape undergoes a negative rotation of 135 degrees. The rotated image is termed as directly congruent to its original shape. The distance of the rotated image equals the distance of the corresponding initial shape from the center of rotation, and each point in the shape turns through an equal angle of rotation. The center of rotation is the intersection of the perpendicular lines that bisect each of the lines joining each of the rotated points as shown. Translation. Translation occurs when every point in a shape is moved the same distance in the same direction. As we can see in this example, triangle ABC has been translated to PQR. Therefore, vector AP equals BQ equals CR. Vector AP, or vector BQ, or vector CR, can each be described as a translation vector. Any translation can be written as a column matrix, XY, where X represents a movement of X units in the X-axis, and Y represents a movement of Y units in the Y-axis. A movement to the right is defined as a positive X movement, while a movement to the left can be described as a negative X movement. Similarly, a movement up is described as a positive Y movement, while a movement to the bottom is described as a negative Y movement. Going back to our example, we can see that point A is translated from point -4, 3 to point P that's located at -2, 8. Similarly, point B is translated from -2, 2 to point Q at 0, 3, and point C is translated from 7, 0.5 to point R at 9, 6.5. Therefore, all points are translated by 2 steps in the X direction and 5 steps in the Y direction. Therefore, the translation can be denoted at 2, 5. Enlargement. Enlargement is the last and final transformations that we will cover. In enlargement, a shape enlarges so that all the lengths grow in a similar ratio to their initial lengths, and the angles remain the same as those on the original shape. The original and enlarged objects all share the same center point and are collinear. The shape may be enlarged by any factor usually denoted by the letter K. The enlargement may be larger than the original, in which case K is positive, or the enlargement may be smaller than the original, in which case K is negative. In this example, the shape enlarges by a factor K of 2, growing from a width of 2 units to a width of 4 units. In this video, we learned about the various types of transformations, namely, translation, reflection, rotation, and enlargement.